Greetings to the free world known to man. We're back at you one more again. We wanted to talk to you briefly about feminism as it applies to modern society. But in order to do that, what we're going to first do is talk to you about the fact that people are animals. And one of the animals we like to reference is the lion. See, the lions have this innate balance as to where the males procreate and protect the pride, and the females bear cubs and gather food. They hunt. That's how the dynamic works in lions. Now, not all male lions can be the alpha lion and leader of the pride, and not all female lions can hunt, but they all eat, they all raise the cubs, they all protect. Like it's one unit. So when we rewind the tape, before man could talk and write and formulate these ideals and these concepts, they worked on instinct. That's how we all got here. You know, that was instinctual. Like the pieces fit, whatever. Anyway, so the male had the tenacity, the ideology of going out and hunting, and the female reproduced and gathered whatever. And it all worked. Now, when people like to say this saying, it takes a village to raise a child, they're referring to this time frame up to the fact of, well, when there was oral histories, whatever, in actual villages. Because, see, when all the men went out to hunt, it didn't matter if Bob hadn't caught anything in 5 weeks. No one was like, well, Bob's not pulling his weight because he's going to starve. No one did that. And if Becky over here had a baby and it cried, and every time she went to pick up the baby, it kept on crying, and then Martha came over and grabbed the baby and the it stopped crying, no one called Becky a bad mother because it was the collective working together. Now, when we do fast forward to when man became so smart and so educated and elevated that they could speak and then write and form these ideals about what's going on, men did become abusive of the situation because they were physically stronger and could rule over women. So in some cultures, women became a possession. It was like a thing. It was like, I'm better than you because I have 5 wives and you only have 1. And then poor Bob couldn't get laid because he was the last man standing, more or less. Right? So anyway, we want to fast forward in this whole realm of feminism and misogyny and whatnot, because we're not a fan of misogyny at all. We believe that even in this modern society, you can see it, that there are women out here that can do the exact same things that a man can do, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, across the board, professionally, all the way around. Women can do the same things that men can do. Hey, congratulations, way to go, you made it. But also, on the flip of the coin, there are men out here that can cook, clean, do laundry, iron, all the basic stuff that a woman's, well, it's woman's work. They can do that stuff too. Now, we say that to say this, is that when the feminist movement took place here in the United States of America, it was a real interesting timeline and the way things unraveled. Because, actually, stop. Before the feminist movement, when women's suffrage was going on, it was about white women's right to vote. It wasn't women's right to vote. Even though it was framed up as women's right to vote, it was about white women. So much so that Susan B. Anthony herself, if what we read, because we weren't there, she approached Frederick Douglass and asked him to help her first and then worry about black people. And Frederick Douglass was like, nah, it's not really a good look. I'm going to go ahead and work on my people, and good luck with that whole women's suffrage thing. And actually, that's how it happened. White women received the right to vote first in America. Blacks were an afterthought, and mind you, an afterthought after Native Americans and after Asians. Then came black women. So then you fast forward to right around the time black women got the right to vote, you received the right to vote, white women started caring about you. They started infiltrating our ranks and telling you that the black man was holding you down the same way the white man was holding them down, which was a lie, a bold-faced lie. Because see, black men and women had a common enemy, and it was white people at the time, which it kind of sort of still is right now, and why black feminists they scare us. They scare us almost as much as white people as a collective do. Because see, it's been documented over the last couple decades that black women make less than white women, but nobody's done anything to fix what black women are making, and at least make it as equal as what white women are. But feminists, y'all stick together in sisterhood, right? Further down the rabbit hole is that affirmative action itself, yeah, it included blacks, Native Americans, Mexicans, whatever, but that was a tenement, that was a tenet of white women who were feeling that they weren't properly represented in the workplace. Now, with all this information being said, please do your own research. Because, see, in the history classes, they don't teach it all on a continual basis, meaning the timelines start and reset, start and reset, start and reset. They'll talk to you about women's suffrage and then stop, and then go back to the Jim Crow era, and then stop, and then go back to women fighting for equal rights and representation in the workplace, and then stop, and then with the black in the discrepancy, they'll teach you all these things, but they teach it to you so compartmentalized. Most people don't take it and string it all together and lay it down as, okay, this is this, this is this, this is this, and see how the things are strung together. Especially old white men, because they don't care. And most of them actually know. And then the people that are left, white women, black people in general, men and women, you don't take the time. Most people don't do the digging and don't see the automatic correlation because, well, you're trying to remember what you have to for school so you can regurgitate it and get it right on the test to get a good grade, to get a good school, to get a good job, to get a whatever, instead of really be focused on what the root of the issue is. Now, again, we have nothing against women and men being equals in society. Do we believe in traditional roles? Yeah. Do we support the ideology that every single person should live their life as such? No. Because what works for couple A doesn't work for couple B, C, D, E, D, all the way into the billions of people on the face of the planet. No. We don't share all this to create a baseline. We share it to create a foundation of understanding of what's been going on in the world that we all live in. So yeah, women can do things men can do things women can do, but at the root, men are men and women are women. That's just how it works. So when people get all wrapped up and offended because we made a post on Facebook about the feminist movement and the black community not paying attention to how they were being used once again, and we're probably gonna get some flack about it, and don't really care. We don't, because the white feminist movement isn't for black women. The misogyny that goes along with the power within white male society isn't for black men. A black woman is for us to respect, elevate, and, well, create life with as our equal. And since we're there, since black, whether male or female, our chromosomes make another black child. Never mind, this is too much. That's just way too much to get into. Hopefully you've caught on to something. It's inspired you to do some research of your own. Maybe even rethink some of the, platforms that you support. And we'll hear from you when we hear from you. Peace.